The 2025 Grand Prix of the Americas is done and dusted. Dusted, especially that leather suit that Marquez wore by the end of lap 9 because he crashed. But anyway, I'm not going to get deep into that in this intro. So yeah, the Grand Prix of the Americas, in hindsight, it's not really that interesting until lap 9 because I was literally not paying attention to the screen by the end of lap 3. Marc was already leading by a lot. It was almost 2 seconds already by the end of lap 3. So I thought it was just going to be another smooth sail for the 93. And not to mention that also Pecco is showing a bit of a fight with Marc's younger brother Alex, and he already overtook him by lap 4 if I'm not mistaken, and then Alex couldn't retaliate. So I thought it was going to be like that up until the checkered flag, but then lap 9 happened and it changed the entirety of how the race was going. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it straight away. Marc Marquez, the ever so slightly quick-witted as well as sharp-witted rider. He's the best in the past decade, so surely he always has something up his sleeve. He kinda exploited it in this race. There was a chaos at the beginning of the race. It was a bit controversial. He said that he kinda knows the regulation, the limitation of what says inside the regulation, so he kinda exploited it. It was like him playing a game and he was just waiting for a good RNG, and that good RNG happened to him. And it was the race start being delayed after he sprinted to the pit lane, and he kinda knew that a lot of riders will follow him. And it was like 3 minutes just before the start, so it was like a gamble. Like I said earlier, it was like him playing a game and waiting for a good RNG, and that good RNG happened, which was the delaying of the start. So he kind of exploited it, not really to the extent of a pinpoint accuracy, because there was a bit of an RNG involved there, RNG if you will. Of course, he did all of this just simply to win. He wanted to leave nothing on the table, but it turned out to be biting him in the end, because well, karma's real. He tried to exploit those regulations, and then he ended up crashing on lap 9. It was such a surprising moment. I mean, when I said in the first commentary video for the Thai GP, when I said that the 2019 Marc is well and truly back, I didn't mean for it to be back like in the exact same way. Crashing at Kota, starting on pole, fastest lap, and then crashing. That wasn't what I meant when I said that the 2019 Marc was well and truly back. But I don't know. This is the RNG of the world, okay? Things happen like coincidentally very similar to some years ago. Not to mention that the commentator kept saying something about him being the first rider to win the first 2 races after Maverick Vinales in 2017. At different circuit to be specific, because Fabio Quartararo did the same in 2020, winning the first 2 races, but that was the exact same circuit, the Jerez. But Marc was the first one to win back-to-back victories in the first 2 rounds, which featured 2 different circuits. And guess what happened to Maverick in 2017 after winning the 2 opening races? Well, he crashed at Kota as well. What kind of RNG is this? But again, this is Marc's karma, okay? He tried to exploit it. He tried to fool everyone, and then it bit him back. So I think it was a fair karma. You take 1, you spend 1. So yeah, had it not been for his exploits, we potentially would have a very tight battle between Ayogura and Bastianini as well as Brad Binder, because those 3, they lined up on the grid on slicks. They did make the right choice, but unfortunately, due to Marc's exploitation, it's just never meant to be for this 3. So that dream of 10 in a row again, like in 2014, it's already buried now. It's just a dream now. What I meant was a 10 in a row from the beginning of the season. He can still make 10 in a row starting in Qatar, but well, who knows? Nobody can ever tell. From the free practices, Pecco Bagnaia has been saying that he got a little bit of the feeling back, something that he lost in the first 2 races. So he found it and he built upon it, and it shows in the race. He was able to fight Alex. He did take that P2 on merit before Marc crashed, and then ended up him inheriting the lead. To mention that without the sprint points, Pecco is up to P2 now in the championship, because Marc is down all the way in P3. Is it a genuine return though for Pecco? I think yeah. Basically, by him saying that he got that feeling back, I think he can, especially coming to Qatar in the next round, I think he can fight with Marc in the next round, not just inheriting the lead from him. But we do know that Pecco isn't really the type of the consistent rider. He did manage 11 race wins last season, but it was not really in a consistent manner. Yes, 4 in a row in the middle of the season, and then he closed the season with 3 in a row. But with now the sprints element coming in, it's just awful. He did win the main race, but crash in the sprints, it's useless if you can't really keep the consistency. And that's why I really hate the sprints. It's just ruining the entertainment of the tight championship battle. I think it is a genuine return of form for Pecco, and we'll see what he can do in Qatar. Not only that Pecco Bagnaia inherited the lead after Marc's crash, his little brother Alex also inherited the lead, but not in the race, but the championship. Now Alex Marquez is leading the championship by 1 point ahead of his big brother Marc. Consistency is key, as they say. What happened in 2006, for example, as well as in 2020? What happened to our weirdest world champion, Nicky Hayden and Joan Mir? Nicky, out of 17 races, only winning 2 races and a total of only 10 podiums, while Joan Mir only won 1 race and then a few podiums. But they ended up being the world champion. Consistency is key. Alex Marquez, out of the 6 races held, meaning 3 rounds, because 1 round now contains 2 races, Alex Marquez has managed all in P2. It is a clean sweep of P2s for him, and that's why he's sitting on top of the championship now, because the rest of the field are inconsistent. Kudos to Alex. This is something I've never dreamed of, even because I know that Alex wasn't really consistent. Like I said in the previous commentary video, he's not really the type of being consistent once ever since he stepped up to the premier class. It's a bit unexpected, but yeah, we'll take it, and let's see what happened in Atlas Sale next. Not really fully fit yet, but Fabio Di Gianantonio, the baby Roman Emperor. I mean, just me calling him that, the baby Roman Emperor, you know, him being born in Rome. I just thought that by default he's the next Roman Emperor. So yeah, baby Roman Emperor. Not really fully fit. A lot of surgery for the past 8 or so months, and he's not really that fit yet, especially after the crash in the Sepang test that really kind of worsened his injury. So him returning on the podium is a relief, I think, both for him, for the team as well, for his career. Let's not forget that it is Di Gianantonio who got the latest update of the GP25. It's not Frankie, it's DG actually. So of course it's always going to be a burden, a pressure on his shoulder, that he's going to perform better than Frankie, because logically he had the better bike, despite, you know, the GP25 is a bit of an unstable bike, except in the hands of Marc. We saw that Pecco only yesterday in Austin that he got his feeling back. So it is a tricky bike, and DG returning on the podium, it is a very warm welcome for him. And I really wish he could continue this trend. Even if he's not going to be on the podium, I think it's just going to be a consistent top 5, and after another top 5, it's gonna do him well for the rest of the season. Even at the beginning of last season, when Jack is not really performing with the KTM, already a lot of sound, a lot of noises around his career, saying that it's an absolute joke that this guy's still having seat in MotoGP, blah blah blah. The publics nowadays are really easy to say things that they don't have any knowledge of, I guess. I'm pretty sure those types of comment only comes from people who don't know anything about motorsport, not knowing what Jack is capable of for the past decade. And when the news of him being the one to fill that Pramac Yamaha seat, the comments went wild again. Like, oh, it's an absolute joke. Why pick him? He's washed already. He's not performing. Blah blah blah. And then come pre-season testing, he was doing good. And then come the first race, he was the best Yamaha on the grid. Why people are so easy to criticize something that they haven't even seen? Out of 3 rounds now, I'm just counting the main race by the way, Jack Miller has been the best Yamaha in 2 out of the 3 rounds. 2. He was 11th in Thailand, but he was the best Yamaha. The next best Yamaha was Miguel in 14, his teammate. And then the next Yamaha was Fabio in 15. And then it was Rins in 17. In Argentina, yes, the best Yamaha was Rins. But then Austin came and Jack finished in a solid 5th place. It's not like a 5th place out of luck. It is on merit. He did fight for it. Yes, Marc crashed. Also that Aldeguer, nobody crashed after overtaking him. But he didn't crash. That's the main point. He did show that Yamaha is capable of, at the very least, a top 7 finish. Fabio tumbling down the order. Rins, no better luck. Augusto, I don't even want to talk about him. So has Miller silenced his critics? Like, genuinely? I think yes. But still, there will always some noises out there that will say, oh, it's just luck. We'll see that he's not going to score any points in the next 3 or 5 races and blah 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 blah. Just learn the history, okay? Just learn what Jack has been capable of doing since 2015. Yes, he made mistakes. He was crash prone, but Jack Miller is already. This is his 11th season in the Premier class. You can't really underestimate someone who has been in this madness for 10 straight seasons. This is his 11th. So yeah, Jack, kudos to him. I really hope he's going to be the best Yamaha by the end of the season, not really being overtaken by the factory boys. I really wish Yamaha will do a swap between him and Rins. Jack promoted to the factory Yamaha and Rins demoted, or maybe just kicked out of the Yamaha family, because to be honest, what has Rins done for Yamaha this past 2 years? Yes, he did have an injury, but is there really a reason nowadays? But anyway, let's leave it there, and make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section, and let's have a bit of a civilized discussion. Like if you did, dislike if you didn't, subscribe for more, and until we meet again.